What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And if you guys can tell by the title of the video, we are taking a look at a lot of the SDCC reveals for Mafex and other brands. We'll kind of, I'm mainly trying to look at the Mafex stuff, but we will be looking at some other stuff as they pop up. But, just jumping straight into the video. First character or figure that I'm like really, really excited for is this Mafex Man of Tomorrow Superman, which, if you guys are unfamiliar, this is the actual art that it's going to be based off of, which um, I highly doubt that it's going to have the comic, like the little, the shading, like the really heavy black shading. There's a potential for it, but usually Mafex isn't going that way unless they're doing like some sort of, special variant like they did with the Spider-Man. Um, but yeah, so this is Jim Lee's art. I think the book is actually called Man of Tomorrow, and that's what this is based off of. It does not look like it's going to be a reprint of that original Hush Superman. I'll probably go ahead and show off a picture once we're done with everything we're looking at, just so you kind of get a reference. You can go ahead and find a reference on your own as well. But it does look like bulkier in every way. The legs look bulkier, the upper torso looks bulkier, and then the heads definitely look different, which is a very good thing. I think that Mafex Superman, the Hush Superman, although a great figure, definitely is a little bit dated. Same thing with that Batman. I feel like those figures are a little bit dated. I really hope that this Superman has that double ball peg right here in the torso, like the Daredevil, to really get that nice fluidity and range and everything. And then on top of everything, the arms look new, the chest looks new. I hope the legs are new. They look new, but I could be wrong. Mafex has been using the same legs for like years now. So hopefully this is a completely new body. And also we get a pretty decent amount of stuff with this entire figure. Moving forward, kind of the other main highlight I want to talk about is I don't know exactly what art this is based off of because I tried finding like a Hush Wonder Woman and it looks sort of like this, but the figure seems to be in such an early stage of like prototype that it could all really change and have a completely different look by the time it comes out. And I really hope it does. Again, maybe I'm being a little nitpicky and it's a little early to tell, right? Maybe colored it'll look a lot better. But I really don't like that very visible neck hole. I really don't like the shoulders. Like, I know Wonder Woman is supposed to be in like a feminine body, but she is an Amazonian that is like supposed to be pinnacle of women, similar to the way Superman is. The Man of Steel, he's supposed to be a pinnacle male. So I really hope we do get better proportions, a little bit more muscularity, a little bit more mass around the whole body. I think it's pretty skinny looking, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. But I'm just glad we're finally getting high end comic Wonder Woman that isn't Yamaguchi. I know Yamaguchi looks pretty good, but it's a little bit stylized for my taste, and definitely not something that I would consider a definitive Wonder Woman. But I am excited for this. And we got the Hush Bruce Wayne, which I saw a comment and I completely agree with it. Like, can we just finally move past Hush? There's so many other good storylines and figures out there that could be made outside of the Hush. Like, I think we've gotten our fair share of Batman Hush figures, and this guy just does not look like he's gonna be well articulated. Like the sculpted jacket, like come on, I think we're far past having sculpted clothes like this because you're not gonna be able to really get any posing. I don't know what you would want to get with the Bruce Wayne, but that shouldn't really be up to them. It should be up to you. But let's go ahead and move on. Looks like there's gonna be yet another variant, another comic. I hope if we get out of is the Dark Knight Returns, my personal favorite comic of Batman. But it's like being a dead horse. I think we've gotten our fair share of Dark Knight Returns figures, and I don't even know what color scheme they're gonna go with for this guy, because there already is a gray and blue with a yellow oval. There's a black with the yellow oval, and it looks like it's gonna be yet another blue with the yellow oval, but with the sniper rifle. I know what art it's based off of, but still, it's like, come on, let's go ahead and move on. But one of the next ones that I did want to talk about, we'll go back here in a sec, is Lobo. It's probably my second most excited for figure from the reviews. I freaking love Lobo. I would say that Lobo is probably like top five DC villains for me. I really like his design, and he's definitely based off of just regular plain old Lobo. Doesn't look like he's based off of any particular art. I could be wrong. I'm not the biggest, comic fan or reader out there, so it could be based on a specific panel or a specific, cover art. But it looks like a very good General Lobo that's gonna cover his, like pre New 52 look. And I'm sure he's had other variants, animated shows and stuff like that. But this looks like a very good blanket Lobo that's gonna cover a pretty big majority of comic runs and designs and stuff like that. So I'm extremely excited for this figure, and I really hope that we get pre-orders hopefully before the end of the year for a lot of these, because as we know, most times once the pre-orders go up, usually it's about a year and a half for Mafex. That's not counting any delays or anything for these figures. So probably earliest we'll see these figures is probably, end of 2026 at best. More likely to be, early months of 2027. Hopefully we make it that far. And then obviously we kind of passed over it a little bit here. We have the Mafex. Looks like Clark Kent. Could be like one of those Saction figures, which is kind of weird. I hope it's Clark Kent, like a fully posable figure, and then this is just an accessory. I can't really tell if that's like a separated piece or if it's just the way it's sculpted, but it looks great. It looks like something that's cool, right? It looks nice and dynamic, but also it's like, why would a Mafex be making this? Like, I think this could be like a statue or something. Like, I don't really see what you're supposed to do with this, and as far as like an action figure, right? And typically, figures like this that come with like a pre-posed section are usually pretty expensive. So I don't know exactly where this would fit in a lot of people's, wants list. I don't know a whole lot of people that are like clamoring at the feet to, um, get something like this. But hey, the more the merrier, I guess. It's there for the people wanting it. Then we got Batgirl, which I completely don't care about. I think this is like the weird home No Way Home suit, the one with the little magic gauntlet thing. Then there we got the Carnage from Mafex. They just showed off their Venom not that long ago. I have no idea who the hell this guy is. We already talked about that, and then this is the next thing we'll talk about. But here's a little bit more of a close up. That's Superman, and most of you guys are pretty familiar. This is probably one of the most comic, not just stories, but pieces of art. Is this the death of Superman, which is this is like the final bout between Doomsday and Superman, which is definitely what this Superman is based off of. He has all the battle damage, and this is my number one. I love battle damage figures, and I've been wanting a battle damage Superman. I'll take any battle damage, anything. I'll take any battle damage of any figure. I think it's an amazing look in 3D format, and it just tells a story without having to do anything, right? Like a lot. I also like clean figures. Like they're always good because they kind of fit a lot. But my personal favorite is these battle damage figures. I think they look so freaking good, and I am definitely excited for this alongside the Doomsday. I think the Doomsday looks amazing. He already has like that little bit of battle damage. Not doesn't look like he's gonna come with any on him, but it does look like they might be reusing some parts from the Bane, being the little bicep area. Obviously, this is definitely all new sculpt, pretty much everywhere else, but it does look like they're reusing a little bit, which is a good thing in my opinion. That Mafex Nightfall Bane is amazing. They just announced a reissue, by the way, also. But this Doomsday looks amazing. Doomsday is my favorite Superman villain. Then it would have to be Darkseid and probably Lobo, just based on looks. Um, but this freaking looks amazing, man. If anyone is gonna deliver a definitive Doomsday that's gonna be a one size fits all, it's gonna be Mafex, and it looks like they're on the final stages of the prototype. So hopefully we get this guy on pre-orders, sometime soon. It would be ideal to get him alongside the Superman. That way you can just buy the set and be done with it. But knowing Mafex and their track record, you're probably gonna get this guy first and then this guy, because I'm pretty sure that's what they did with the Bane as well. Was they dropped the Bane first and then the Batman? But I'm not too sure. Don't quote me, but I'm definitely the most excited for these. And then just real quick, let's take a look through, see if we missed anything. Um, Real quick, I just wanted to clear up that this Punisher is based on a certain art style. It's based on the where's the photo at? Right here. This is Mike Zeck. That this is his art style, and it's not my favorite, but I definitely welcome it with open arms because not only is it a Mafex Punisher, but it's a really classic, good-looking Punisher. Like he's gonna come with all the guns, all the bells and whistles, and I am extremely excited for. Almost forgot, but since I already covered this guy, I really didn't think about it. But this is my number one most looking forward to Mafex at this current moment in time. I love Punisher. He's probably top three Marvel characters. I've been asking for a import company to make one. I hope this inspires Revoltech to make one. I would love a Revoltech style Punisher. But yeah, this looks amazing. Just while we're at it too, this is what the Iceman actually looks like, which it looks great. It looks really good. But yeah, just to clear up that Punisher. Okay, and then just real quick, just a little shameless plug-in. If anybody has a copy of this and is willing to let it go for retail, or they know of a store, let me know. Hit my DMs on Instagram or leave a comment down below, and we'll coordinate. But I am on the hunt for this guy, so let me know. Okay, and that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover, kind of in depth. And before we continue, I just wanted to say thank you to Courier News. I'm following them on my personal account, but I'm not following them on this one. But there you go. And then the Badass Reviews, also another one I'm following on my personal. I look like an a-hole now, but yeah, shout out to them for providing these pictures. I wish I could have gone myself, but it didn't work out like that. And then here's a just little, quick little recap of everything that they showed off for DC. Here's a lot of their other Reign of Superman line. They pretty much completed it all. They just needed this last two. I don't even know if Lobo was a part of that comic run, but regardless, this is the entire DC lineup. Then we have some more, and then I believe this is like supposed to be a battle damage Batman with like a little bit of cuts and bruises here and there. But again, it is on that hush body. And then I believe this is the Nightfall Batman that is based on the Nightfall art, and then the black and gray one that they dropped. And then we have the Ra's al Ghul, and then we talked about these already. And then this is a Dark Knight. This is the other blue and gray oval Batman that I'm talking about. So I don't know if it's just like so they could have a single release of this guy, because it was a dual release. It came with this little Batman Robin, I forgot her name, but the something Kelly Madison or something like that, something like that. I don't remember her name exactly, but yeah, I guess these are different. I don't know what the hell. I'm kind of confused now. This is the blue and gray that I was talking about, but there's another one, and then there's another one. I think this might be the painted version of this. Not too sure, but there that is. And then the boys lineup. Don't care at all about this, but this is something you're interested in. Here it is. And then Star Wars, John Wick, and then here's the movie figures that they got coming up. Don't care about really any of this. And then on this side, I definitely am hyped for this blue Venom. I wasn't able to find a close up, but I definitely am hyped for this blue Venom. I really hope it's not like another event exclusive that's going to be borderline impossible to get. This 2099 Venom also looks pretty cool, but I just want updated bucks for these guys, man. Like, stop reusing the same crap. Um, Here's the Snyderverse again, another set of figures I don't care about. I do not collect movie figures, so apologize if I'm unenthusiastic about that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I guess last thing I'll leave it off is people are probably gonna ask. This guy is going for an extreme amount on the aftermarket. I've seen him going for upwards, minimum $650 on eBay. So yeah, this guy is dead and gone. There is absolutely no way that I'm paying $600 for this. I get it. He's limited to 200 pieces worldwide, but it's just not something that I'm willing to pay for. But in case you're looking for it, that's what he's going for. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys enjoy the content, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you like the content I bring, you like the video, as it continues to help grow the channel and helps it get out there to further grow it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day. Peace.